Yo, what's going on everybody? Alex Pandrea back in action. I'm so sorry for the delay in videos. I know you guys that have been subscribed to the channel have been waiting. I did put a little video up a few days ago, but nonetheless, now I know you guys want to learn sleights and theory and tricks and things like that, so we're going to go straight into it without further ado. Today we are talking about one of my favorite controls to do. Now it's a control to the bottom, and we're going to learn a way to steal it out. Now it's very, very important, at least for me, to be able to have control of the card with a convincer that the card is still in the middle of the deck and all eyes are on, the spectator's eyes are on where they think the card is, and you're far ahead. You have the card palmed out, you can put it in your pocket, you could slip it to somebody else, many things like that. The control really that I'm going to teach you is something that I actually did release, so this is something that I'm giving back to the community, and I'm giving it for free here on YouTube. So without further ado, let's get into the control, the steal, and everything you need to know about it. Alright, so this is how it looks. You have a card touched and selected, so in this case it's the Six of Hearts. You leave the Six of Hearts about center of the deck, and you can place the deck down on the table at this point. You are far ahead of the game, my friends. So that's the bottom control in itself. Now you could add that with something like this, where you show the 8, place it about center, and now give it out to the spectator to push in or shuffle or do anything like that. And again, you are way ahead this time, stealing out the card from the center of the deck. So this is my version of Dan and Dave's version of the convincing control. Now, back in the day, Ed Marlowe published a convincing control, this is what he named it, where a card is touched, selected, and you are actually going to show that card just like this, come down and move it forward as you spread the rest of the deck, and then that's how you're going to get the bottom control. Now this is a version that goes great, you could certainly use it, but I just didn't like the fact that you had to, from this point after showing, come down and then do the switch. At that point. Dan and Dave had a very, very good version, and I believe it was on, if I'm not mistaken, either the Trilogy or and then some, their DVD, but it looked like this. There's the King of Diamonds, and you leave it sticking out about halfway, and the card is controlled to the bottom. Very, very nice. If you are interested in that, it's called a DMB spread control. But for my version, and I published this with Dan and Dave as a download with many other things on there, so if you are interested in the full download, it's called the AP spread control. It looks like this, Queen of Clubs, and you leave it sticking out, and you're there, okay, with the Queen of Clubs being controlled. First and foremost, you're going to need a card selected. So either you spread the cards and have a card selected, or just have one touched and you can show it just like this, but you're going to need to get into this final position where the card is either returned to the pack or touched and out jogged, so that you can show the card just like this at this position. So tight spread over here, and you want it aligned like this. You don't want it in any sort of angle or a fan type. You don't want that. Alright, so you're going to want to spread, have the card returned back as you place it into this position, or have a card touched, move it out jogged as you take it into this position. Okay, so either way, this is the position that it's going to be in, and I'll show you the fingering right here. It's going to be aligned on this side, just like this, all right, with the rest of the cards, with the fan of the cards. As you come up, right, you're going to show the card, you're going to put your 3 fingers, the first finger, the middle finger, and the ring finger on the actual selection, okay? It's important that all 3 are there. And now the pinky is going to be aligned with the bottom of the deck, all right? That's also important because when you're going to do the action of pulling this down, you want everything to be aligned at this point, and that's going to help with the pinky being here, okay? As this comes down, the pinky helps align the cards. Now the left hand is going to do something at the same time, and it's going to look like you're taking this card off the top, okay? And as you come down, you're going to take the card with the left thumb, okay? So as you come down, you take the card with the left thumb, and you're basically switching it, okay? So you're switching it for the card that's going to be in the left hand top packet, all right? So the way this works is as follows. Out jog the card, do the move, the alignment over here, the pinky is here, the 3 fingers are here as you show the card to everybody. All right, and you show it, and as this is happening, you're going to get a little break, just a little bit of a break right there in the left hand. Now this is important because if you don't get the break and you do this, possibly more than one card will come off, okay? And you don't want that, you just want the one card. So I show the card as I get the break. Maybe I come down so you don't see this action, all right? You could do a pinky count, doesn't matter. But this should be hidden, this should be to the side anyway. So you out jog, everybody see the card, remember it? There, and I just did it, all right? Now it's about the timing. I'm gonna come down, just like this. And as I come down, my left thumb comes up, and I'm going to stroke the card. Yeah, just like that. You're going to stroke it, and it's going to come off. And at this moment, when it's just about eye level, you see how this is pointing directly at their eyes so they could see just the flatness of the surface right there? All right, boom, right there. This is when you're going to take the card. Your left thumb kicks this out, just like this. It's going to literally just kick it out like that. And your thumb is going to come off of it. Now what's going to stop this from moving down is this packet is going to go on top of it. The right hand packet is going to go on top of it. But you also have to at the same time move this down just like this as you're taking the card. Okay? So show the card, show it, get the break. As I come eye level, as I do this, I'm going to take the card, move this out, move this down. Okay? So it's going to look like that, right? And it should be a very free motion. I like this version because of the way that you're acting with the hands, and it works for me because all the time I talk and I gesture with the hands, I point, I do this, and it works, okay? So you show the card, go ahead, and you actually push it in. So now at this point, you tell the spectator to keep their eyes on their card, and as you go to square everything up, your right hand culls or moves the selected card to the right, your right, as you keep spreading with the left hand, and this is going to go to the bottom of the deck, just like that. So now once you have it at the bottom of the deck, you've controlled it successfully to the bottom, you can stop right there and have them push the card in, or you can actually do this, but I like to give it to the spectators to push it in so we know it's there and you're way ahead of them. Now what I like to do is, because this is a nice convincer and you're so far ahead, as I like to palm off the card, and this is one of my favorite palms to use. My favorite palm is the diagonal palm shift because I can do it from the top, from the middle, from the second to the top, third from top, it really doesn't matter, I can use that control. But once that card is on the bottom, a very, very nice control is to do a gambler's cop. So let's learn this before we put it together with the actual control with the cop at the end. All you have to do for this, and it's the easiest, I think it's the easiest control because the top palm, there's a lot that goes into a diagonal palm shift. Let's not even start with that. This is the easiest because there's only one finger motion in this, and the rest is done by itself in automatic, in a natural motion of putting the deck down or something to that extent. So this is how it works. The card is on the bottom. Now you're going to want to, before, if you want to just palm off the card, pick up the deck for a second in the right hand so you can readjust the position. So you're going to need to readjust from here to here so that the middle finger touches the pip of the bottom card. Okay? And just like that. Now all the middle finger is going to do, and again, the easiest way to do it, I think, is to just pick it up in the right hand as you gesture and you say something, and as you come back, you place it into that exact position. Now, the way that I like to do it is to move the deck forward as I do the palm, okay? I move the deck forward as I do the palm, and the palm, all it consists of is the middle finger doing this. All it's doing is just doing this, all right? And once it bends, it'll go naturally on the, between the base of the, I guess, first finger and the middle finger. So something like that. That's the position of the card, okay? So here, place, move the deck forward, and you're already halfway done. At this point, you can go ahead, table the deck, give the deck to the spectator, spread, doesn't matter, and you have the card palm. Okay, let's put it all together now. The control with the palm. 9 of diamonds will be the card. I'll leave it sticking out about halfway. Now, I don't know exactly where the card is, but go ahead and push it in. And you've stole the card out from the very beginning, they think it's here, you are way ahead, and now you can actually slip it into the back pocket as you spread the cards on the table, or give it to them to push it in and tell them to cut the deck as you lean back. I usually put this in my back pocket if I want them to further shuffle the deck or whatever. If I'm on, like I'm sitting right now, I would place it on my knee or under my knee and squeeze if there's people sort of around that could see down. Either way, this is up to you of what you do with the card. You could even just hold it out as they push it in, give it a quick shuffle, and then as you go back, you could place it on the bottom. The options right now, they're pretty much endless of what you can do with it. You could slip it to a friend and say, look, don't push it in just yet. We know that the card is there, so I can't do anything with it. You slip it to a friend. When I was very young, I used to be obsessed with giving my friend the signed card, and they put it in a empty water bottle or a Coke bottle or something like this. Okay, so use your imagination on what you can do with that. Okay, so there you have it. That is the AP spread control, along with copying off the card or palming off the card at the end. I think it's very important to have these subtleties of convincers in our card magic. Now, I did make a recent Instagram post about convincers and how we can do the smallest little things to give value. Okay, now in this control, it would not have any value. It would not be convincing as a control to be way ahead of the game if the card wasn't out-jogged. All right, and you can see things in things like the DMB spread control, which is very similar. And also, I have a control called Top. It's a version of the turnover pass, which kicks out the convincer card as you're doing a turnover pass. And those little things, I think the subtleties are very important, especially when you give it to the spectator and the spectator has control. Because when the spectator has control and they push it in, and you know, sometimes I do something like push it in, and they push it in, I go, but not all the way, as a little joke, and then I go, oh, you did push it in all the way. All right. Well, I mean, let's try it anyway. I mean, it doesn't matter if I get it wrong, right? And you do things like this where, again, little small things to convince them even more that the card is lost, and actually lost in the pack. They shuffle, they push it in, they shuffle, but at this time the card is in your back pocket already, okay? So take that into mind, learn this control. Another thing that I didn't show you here, but I'd give you something to practice, is to do the exact same thing, not as a control, but as a switch to the table. I do this in my lectures all the time. It's very nice, where you show the card and you throw it and it makes a tossing and a swirl action as it goes flying off into the table, but you've actually switched it for another card. So I'm going to leave your imagination to wander on how that would look and how you can do that, and it's with everything that I've taught you. Enjoy the control, use it, and come up with your own subtleties, and definitely use the cop at the end, because the cop is one of the best palms that I use. It's so nice because it's just clean, okay? And in card magic, my final thought for this video is that you want everything to be clean. You don't want to jitter around or jumble the cards where it looks confusing for the spectator, okay? So this is why this is one of my best controls, because you show it, you take the card, you say, look, go ahead, push it in, and that's a clean, convincing control. So enjoy that, guys. And now that I'm back, do tell your friends that there's more videos coming, so share this if you can on your social media. Hit the follow or subscribe button on Instagram, on YouTube here, and like the video. That helps. Comment below if you have your own subtleties, and we really want to make this a community of efforts from different people, so do that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much, and have a great day.